Hello, I'm Seth Johnson with Land a House. So I was clearing off the garden spot and found a grapevine, and sadly now it's laying in the ground. So today we're going to build a trellis to put this grapevine on. Now, it's crazy hot out here, so I hope you don't mind me looking like an 80s basketball star. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is clear off this log that is laying in front of the trellis spot. So our log is moved out of the way. What I'm going to use for the support beams of our trellis are these pressure treated round 4x4s. I have two that are 6 foot long, and that'll be the main supports. And then I've got one 8 foot that I'm going to cut in half and use diagonally on the back side of the main supports, and that will kind of relieve the tension from the cable so it doesn't pull all in one direction and uproot the main support posts. At least that's the hope anyway. So I'm going to cut this 8 foot board in half to make two 4 foot. So the root of my grapevine that I found is right here. So I'm going to install the trellis about 3 feet away from that and go off in this direction. Now I've got this steel cable here that I'm going to use as the wire, and it's like a 300-pound, and I've got two 25-foot sections. So that's going to be how long our trellis is. So let's use our post hole diggers and get to work. What's the chances of us hitting a rock? We want our post hole to be roughly 2 feet deep, and that's what it is. So, time to set this post in. But first, I want to put in just a little bit of gravel because even though these are treated posts, I want it to be able to drain properly. So there we go. Just a little gravel, not too much. So now let's take our 6 foot post, set it down in the middle here, and then just start filling in around the edges. Now I could use a level to make this prettier, but I'm just going to eyeball it. I don't think my grapes will care too much, and if they do, they'll just have to get over it. I'm going to use a wooden handle to push down this dirt in here. Now the first post is in. We're going to use one of the smaller 4 foot sections, and it's going to be back here, and I'm going to try and use the post hole diggers at an angle so that when the wire is attached it'll have to pull up like that. So it just kind of supports the wire strength away from the main post. So let's try that. Just as before, our hole is 2 foot deep. Toss a little gravel in there. Yeah. So now our post is going to be placed in at kind of an angle here. So about like that. And now I just start covering it up again like before. And as we go, remember to tamp that dirt down. You always have less dirt when you fill a hole back up. So I've got dirt over here that I'm digging to put in the hole. Well, both of our posts are set in the ground and firm. So next step is going to be take a drill and we're going to put holes, 2 holes in this piece and 2 holes here, and that's going to allow our wire to go through the post. I'm using a 3/8 inch bit here, and I'm just going to go fairly close to the top. Alright, there we go. Now that both of our posts are in the ground and the holes are drilled, I'm going to take our wire and stick it through this side. Then poke the wire through the back side of this one. Now, what I'm going to attempt to use, actually wait, before we put it through there, I've got this ferrule and stop set. So you're supposed to put one of these on the wire, stick it through, bend this back around, and then crimp it down. So let's try that. Okay, now stick through here. And then I brought some washers. Hopefully that'll reduce the strain on the log there. Okay, don't really have a crimping tool, but these channel locks should work. So I'm just going to take that piece and try and bend it down. Aha, that's better. Okay. Alright, so that's just going to crimp down on the wire, or cable I guess this really is. Okay. So with this one end attached, now I can run this out and see where the next set of posts should go. So just like the other 2 posts, I now have this side in and the cable is through, but now on this side it's a little bit different. We're going to use these little U-bolts, not sure what they're called, but that way we can pull and adjust the tension. So let's do that to this bottom piece here. I always forget that first step. First thread through your U-bolt, then through here, then the washer. Starting to rain. Yikes, we better hurry. So then thread back through your U-bolt here. Alright, now I have a socket set here. Little U-bolts there. Now you can see that it's not as tight as it would be if we had, say, 2 people putting this up, or some of those tension pieces that go, you screw and tighten the wire. But I'm pleased with that little trellis. So now let's put the grapevine on here. So I'll be the first one to admit that I don't know anything about growing grapes. So this is just going to be a learning experience for me. And if for some reason I kill this vine, I will plant some more. And the grapes are now set across the trellis here. Let's see if they grow and thrive or if they die. But I'm excited. The trellis is now done. Well, we got it done and it's raining, so perfect timing. I'm Seth Johnson with Land to House. Thanks for watching this video. Bye. I love learning new things, and I love grapes. What a perfect combination. Take this time now to push the thumbs up button. It really does help my channel to grow on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. To your left, you'll see a video I've selected. It's me removing a stubborn stump. Here in the garden spot, I've got about 20 more of those stumps to go before it's clear. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something about installing a grape trellis. I'm Seth Johnson with Land to House, and I'll see you next time. Bye.